Okay, welcome to Video P5J004. This is the fourth in a series of videos where I'm going to show you guys how to code an abstract version or a stylized version of the von Neumann architecture diagram using CorelDRAW. So in video 3, I showed you how to create a CorelDRAW document, import the base images that we're going to use for reference, and then use the objects or layers Docker to help organize and lock down various aspects of it so that we don't make mistakes. So as you can see, I've got the reference layer selected. Now, because it's locked, you can see the little padlock here. It means that I can't click and interact and accidentally move any of these objects. So what I'm going to do now is actually, as much as I love this little sketch that I did on the whiteboard that I took a picture of, it really only shows me roughly where I think certain components of the von Neumann architecture will go, and also some idea about proportion and size. In order to actually create the shapes, the simple geometry like circles, rectangles and triangles, which I'm going to code, I'm going to need this diagram here, or this image here. So I'm going to unlock the layer, and I'm going to select the plan image. I'm going to go on the keyboard, Control C. That's the same as going Edit, Copy. And then I'm going to go Control V, which is the same as Edit, Paste. Move it to one side. And I'm going to use the Shape tool to crop this image down so that I effectively have two copies of the same image. The lower one, I'm going to just select the left two nodes, hit Control on the keyboard, move my mouse to the right. Now I have the trailer. I'm going to do the same thing with the other image, but go from the other end. So this one becomes the front. I'm now going to bring these onto the screen. Now you'll see that it's actually disappeared. It hasn't, it's just in a layer behind my sketch. You can see on the right hand side, the lower down it is, the further back it is. So I'm just going to click and drag that up, and I'm going to resize. I'm going to do the same thing here. Try and resize these so that they look roughly proportional. Maybe make that a bit bigger. That looks about right. So I'm now going to zoom in, and so what you'll see, I'm going quite quick, but basically what I've done, because I've got the rulers visible, view rulers, what it means is if I go into the ruler and then click, left mouse click and drag down, I'm actually dragging a horizontal rule. If I do the same from the left, it will be a vertical ruler. Now, what I always do here, whenever I'm doing anything in terms of a diagram that I'm going to be coding later, I always want to try and make sure that every shape, every line is positioned as a whole number, so no decimal part, and it's generally even. And what that means is that when you're manipulating images, doubling size or halving the size, if you halve an even number, you always get another full number. The problem is with computers, they display according to pixels. So if you take a shape and that's a an odd number, and then you divide it by 2, you'll get a 0.5 number. And the problem is that computers don't understand the concept of a half pixel. So what it does is this thing called anti-aliasing, which basically blurs it. Now I want to try and avoid that. I won't go into the reasons for why, but it's just something that I do. So in this instance, you can see that this is the vertical Y dimension of that guide, and I'm just going to round it up to 634, and I'm just going to use. So what I'm going to do is effectively try and make sure that these two images, at least the bottom of the track, is they're roughly on the same horizontal plane. Now, I could move it down with my mouse, but that's kind of awkward. So this is where I want to use something called nudge. Now if I just click a blank area of the screen, so nothing is selected, this part of the menu comes up. Now the amount that something will move if I select it and move it with the arrow keys on the keyboard, the nudge is controlled here. So if I set the nudge to 20 pixels and then select, it will move every time I hit one of the keys 20 pixels. Now clearly that's not what I want to do in this instance, so I'm going to 1 pixel. So effectively, when I zoom in here and I select that image, every time I hit the mouse key, the keyboard arrow, in whatever direction, it will move 1 pixel. That looks about right. Okay, I'm just going to right mouse click to zoom out, zoom out. Okay, that looks about right. So this is all looking a bit messy in here. So what I'm going to do is just select that sketch and I'm going to just hide it. Then I'm going to go back to the reference and I'm just going to lock that layer down now because I'm happy with the way that things are positioned. And it will avoid me making issues again. Right, okay, I'm just going to file, save that document. Corel does save in the background. It creates a backup copy, but it doesn't automatically save the document that you're working on. The backup copy is merely there if something cataclysmic happens. At least you've got something to, like a backup. So, right, from this point forward, what I'm going to do is use the guides and a bunch of simple shapes to try and construct the base shape. So the main sort of, this part of the truck, the cabin, and then this undercarriage bit here. I'll show you how to do that. And then what we'll do in the next video is I'll show you how to translate the shapes and the coordinates from here into p5.js and actually recreate the shape using code. Right, okay, I'm going to start by zooming into the key points, click and drag 170, again rounding it up or down to the nearest whole number, 336, and 160. Now you'll see what I'm trying to do in a moment. Let's make that minus 200. Okay, now I've got these reference points here that will enable me to create a shape, but placing each of the points of the shape at one of these junctures. So I'm going to use this freehand tool. I'm going to go up here. Now at this point you must make sure that you've got snap to and then guidelines ticked. So when I click, it's going to snap to the intersection of these two guides. Now you can see that the reason why this message has come up is because I'm still on the reference layer, which was a mistake on my part. What I want to do actually is place the base. I've just realized I've named the layer. So I've just double mouse, left mouse click the layer name, change it. So that's now selected and that isn't locked. So now what I'm going to do is click. Now when I click once with that tool, wherever I click next, it will draw a line between those 2 points. Now if I want to extend that line, I have to click that same node and do the same thing again, click, and then click, and then if I go back to the original node, that is now classed as a closed path. There's no break in the line. Now if I go to the pick tool and then come across here and select left mouse click, it fills it with a color. Okay. Now I'm just going to do another couple of shapes. So what I want, remember I'm trying to create nothing more than either a triangle or a rectangle. And I'm just placing these guides there to help me do that. 3, 5, 4. 96. Okay, so now I'm going to do another triangle. Click, 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 click. Left mouse click. Now to get rid of the guideline, we don't really need the guidelines, this outline, sorry. To get rid of it, we can come up to the palette here, and where you see the white with the line through it, if we right mouse click here, it removes the line. Similarly, if we left mouse click, it removes the fill. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the lines here. Now, if we continue along that path of using guidelines to create shapes, let's just create a couple more before I stop. Let me just zoom out again. Now obviously whatever diagram, yep, that's fine, you're producing, it will be different for you. Okay. So now you can see I can use the guides to use the rectangle tool. Now if I click, whoops. Actually, let's go from the bottom. If I click and drag, I can basically do the same thing. Now, right mouse click to remove the outline, and I can also do a similar thing here. Left mouse click to fill, right mouse click here to remove the outline. And if I continue, in fact, what I could do is if I move and place an outline or a guide there, I could click and extend that all the way to there. And then if I place another one here, 680, 212, and I am freestyling a little here. Okay. In fact, I can just pull that one all the way across there like that. And if I put one more in there, again, I don't want to, Control Z. In fact, what I could do is just do that, and then put okay. Now I'm basically blocking out the main shape. I suppose I've just got, for the main cabin, let's just finish the main cabin. Oops. Now you can see I did make a slight mistake there, so I'm just correcting it with the shape tool. It's better. So one more triangle, and then I think for the main cabin, we are done. Okay, looks pretty good. Actually, I'm going to move that up adjust this triangle here. Now what you'll notice is each of these shapes, using this tool in the top left hand corner, I can actually go to each of the points and get the coordinates. So this point here is 354 pixels from the top, and it's 96 pixels from the left. Similarly, if I go to the top right, it's 160 and so on. So I'm happy with the main cabin here, but I would actually still like to be able to see the image in the background. You know, the original outline drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each shape. Now if I select one shape and then I hit shift on the keyboard and then click another shape and another one and another one, what I can do is if I come down here and click the transparency tool and then go up here and click uniform transparency, what it does is it converts the fill of that shape to a 50% transparency. Now what that enables me to do is draw the shape, but also at the same time see the shapes below it. Okay, so I'm just going to try and select and repeat that process for the rest of the shapes. Okay, I think I am happy with that. So I'll close this video. When you see the video again, you'll see me having blocked out all of the base for both of these, for the main engine and the trailer. I will block them out and probably use slightly different colors. Then what I'll do is I'll show you how to use these shapes to then go in and start to code the p5.js. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.